This exercise is asking, find the lowest common multiple of the numbers 6 and 8 with the assistance of prime numbers. Now for this lesson, I'm going to make the assumption that you know what a prime number is. So let's carry on with this, and you can see at the top here, I have 6 and 8 are the numbers that I want to find the lowest common multiple for. Well, what you can do, you can consider the 6 and the 8, and you can ask, what two numbers multiplied together will give me 6? And the answer is 2 and 3. Now, if you consider the 2, it is an example of a prime number. If you consider the 3, it too is a prime number. Now, because we've got to these prime numbers, we stop considering what numbers multiply together, and we can say that 6 equals 2 times 3. Now contrast this with the following. We can see 8, and we need to ask what two numbers when multiplied together will give 8. Well, you can see I've chosen 2 and 4. Now 2 is an example of a prime number, but 4 isn't a prime number, so we can take that further by asking what two numbers multiplied together will give me 4. And we can see that that will be 2 times 2. And if we consider this 2, that is an example of a prime number. And this 2 here is an example of a prime number. Consequently, we can see that we have 3 prime numbers circled, and that will give us this, that 8 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2, which are the 3 numbers that have been circled. If I now put these two calculations side by side, we can see that we have 6 equals 2 times 3, and 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. Another way of writing 2 times 2 times 2 is as follows. We write 2 to the power 3. We then inspect these two calculations, and you can see if we look to this 2, we need to remind ourselves that 2 is actually 2 to the power 1. So we never usually bother putting the little 1 as a power. It's simply written down as 2. Whereas if we look here, we can see that this is 2 to the power 3. And the question we need to ask is which one of these has the highest power? And clearly, it's the one that's in the 8 equals 2 to the 3. So what we do under these circumstances, we write the biggest power down, which is 2 to the 3. You then consider this number here, 3. Now, that is 3 to the 1. And if you look here, there is no 3. So in this case, you just write the 3 down. And what you can see you've got here is 2 to the 3 times 3. And of course, that will equal 8 times 3 equals 24. And what we have done, we've expressed the 6 as prime numbers multiplied together. And we have expressed the 8 as prime numbers multiplied together. And I've taken the highest power from both, and when we work it out, you can see we get 24. Now, 24 is the lowest common multiple of 6 and 8. So you can see how prime numbers have enabled us to find the lowest common multiple. And this approach stops you having to list all the multiples of 6 and all the multiples of 8 and look for the common multiples and then decide which one is the lowest common multiple. You can do it, as in this example, using prime numbers.